Oh yeah, welcome to the Intuitive Empire. I'm your host, Jaya Rose, and we can finally get started because you are here. And if you are ready to energetically align with your desires, own your innate magic, and step powerfully into your spiritual leadership, well, love, you're in the right place. Let's do the damn thing already. Hey babe, welcome back to the Intuitive Empire podcast. This is a solo cast and I'm going to be riffing on owning your confidence even when you are scared. And this has really been coming up lately because, well, I do scary stuff all the time. Can you relate to this? I basically have been living outside of my comfort zone for the last 4 years. Now, I had done many scary things before the last 4 years, but never so many so consistently as when I brought my business online. It has just been one vulnerable, scary thing after another. And something that I was reflecting on this week is confidence. One, because it was a module that I created for my new course, Align, and I was teaching it. So of course I'm going to be reflecting on it for me, right? And then I put a poll in my Facebook group to see what people are interested in learning about right now or just needing some motivation around or insight around. And this was like the number one thing, this and owning your magic, or actually identifying your unique magic. And so I'll probably do a podcast on that. But for now, I want to talk to you about confidence. And one thing is that I feel like confidence, you really get this sort of like masculine feeling, like, oh, you're confident, oh, that means like you have good posture and you walk into the room and you own the room. And I mean, there's a certain level of that being true, that confidence as a personality trait has a certain look, right? It treats you a certain way. Like if you feel confident when you walk in a room, you're going to show up differently. But that isn't as much what I'm talking about. I don't think that that's really where my expertise lies, because that's actually something that's quite natural for me. And I think it goes back to being a belly dancer, because I was a professional belly dancer for 15 years. And I taught classes all the time, and I literally taught people how to walk across a room with confidence. And it wasn't about confidence in that moment. It was in some way, I guess, it was about owning it and really owning your space and your body and your sexy and all these things. And that translated for me where I know that when I walk in a room, I know how to do it confidently. And that to me is about an embodiment of confidence. Now, there's also a mindset of confidence, and that's more what I'm going to speak to right now, because embodying confidence is very simple and actually really easy. And people allow it to hang them up, like as if only someone else has confidence. Like only Jaya has the confidence to walk into the room that way because she was a belly dancer for 15 years. But the key is that it's practice. Anything that we want to embody, which means make real in our physical form, in our body, well, then we have to practice it. It's really just true. So there's another piece, though, to confidence when you're doing scary things and you're stepping outside your comfort zone and doing something new that really doesn't have to do with embodiment, because it's almost like you're faking it. I shouldn't say faking, borrowing. You're borrowing it from something else. And I love this idea of borrowed confidence. So I want to walk you through how you could use this in your life right now. And it would go something like this. You have something that's coming up that feels new, it feels big, it feels scary. And you feel into it, and the initial thing is fear. And you go, okay, I know that I feel fearful. That's what that feels like. And then you say, well, what is the truth of the matter? Am I not confident about this because I'm afraid that I'm going to fail? Am I not feeling confident because I've never done it before Am I not feeling confident because I have a bad feeling and I don't even know if it will work? I mean, there's a lot of different reasons. And so we have to identify it. Like, why? Why do you not feel confident? And if it's because you think you might fail, well, then I invite you to recognize that there's a very good chance you will fail. And that doesn't mean anything about you. And if you are pursuing success on some level, to recognize that the failure is just a part of it. And nobody goes into something being like, oh, sweet, I'm definitely going to fail this time. That's not really the point, but it's like just understanding that you're still going to be okay. Like you're still going to be okay if you fail. And that is confidence, right? You're trusting. Like the definition of confidence is to trust in something. And so then we get to decide, well, what am I trusting in? Am I trusting in myself that even if I fail, I'll be okay. I'll still show up. I'll still try it another way. So we can sort of like eliminate that failure. It's pretty easy to eliminate the fear of failure, right? When you really deeply sink into it, are you actually afraid to fail? Probably not. You're probably more afraid to be seen, to be, what is the word that's been, intimate. This word intimate. Like I feel that I am way more afraid of being intimate than I am failing. And so how do you be confident in something that maybe you've never even done at all? Maybe it's going to create more intimacy. Maybe it's going to create failure. Maybe it's going to create fame, money, success. I mean, there can be resistance to all of these things. Let's be real. But what I want you to do is just identify, what is it? What is the fear? Where is that fear coming from? And then as you really notice it, we can start to debunk it, right? Just like I just did. I just sort of debunked all those things. And then we can move into, well, am I committed? Am I committed to doing it? And if the answer is yes, then the only choice really is to move past the fear, which means addressing the fear like we just did. We don't just ignore it, we just dive in. And then we move into the commitment. And the commitment, you get to borrow. You get to borrow confidence. So we can say, okay, well, great, Jaya. Yes, I'm committed. Yes, I'm committed. Awesome. Good job. And I still feel scared. So how do I do it confidently if I feel scared? And the answer is that confidence doesn't require lack of fear. Confidence doesn't require you to not be scared. It requires you to do it anyway and to trust deeply in yourself. And the trust that you need in order to show up for yourself and this dream and this thing, whatever it is you're doing that's creating fear, well, you get to borrow the confidence. So this is sort of like what I started saying a few minutes ago, but I kind of wanted to paint that whole picture for you. You are going to borrow the confidence by creating evidence of all the other times you've done things that you felt the way you feel now. So that's why we have to identify the way we feel right now, right? You identified that you are scared actually of the intimacy. You identified that you're actually scared of the success because you're going to be the first person in your family who's really been successful. And you're actually just afraid that they might not understand you anymore, or you might have lack of intimacy because of that. It might come in between your relationships. There are so many things, but then you can say, well, what is something else that I've done in my life that I can identify? I was afraid that it was going to come in between me and my relationships if I pivoted, shifted, changed in some way. And then you get to use it as evidence and you say, okay, well, I was okay. I was okay. Everybody was okay. And I can see how it worked out for the best. And then you move forward with the borrowed confidence of that thing. So here's an example of this. Numerous things I've done in my online business, I've borrowed the confidence from something else I've done. For example, Let me see. Let me think of something good. I actually don't want to talk about online business. I want to talk about when I moved to Portland, Oregon 12 years ago with my daughter, who was 11 at the time, single mom, and I was moving to Portland and I didn't know anybody. And I had a personal training business. I actually had a fitness studio in Northern California where I was moving from, and I liquidated it. Took some of my equipment and moved to Portland with the badge of being a personal trainer, and I was becoming a life coach at the time, but no business and no people, no network, no referrals, no space, no nothing. Now, how easy would it be to not be confident? To not be confident that I'd be able to pull it off, that I'd be able to get clients, that I'd be able to make the connections I would need, that I would be able to make the money, because at the time I had about $13,000. And I ended up making that last a year and a half, actually, because it took me a while to build my business to where I replaced the income. But as soon as that money was gone, I had the money from my business. And I look at this and I think, well, where did I have the confidence to do this? Where did I have the confidence to say yes to moving to Portland just because it felt right? Where did I have the confidence to say that I knew I could build the business, even though I had no idea how I was going to do it? And I can look back and say, well, when I was 18, I left home, never to live with my parents again, started a life, got married, got pregnant at 19. And the only reason that I left home and went on Grateful Dead tour and then moved to California from the Midwest was because I had an idea that that's what I was meant to do. And I felt an intuitive calling to do it. And I had this evidence that it worked out. Like, here I am now, 32 at the time, 31, with an 11-year-old, doing the same thing again in some ways, following my intuition, doing something new, doing something different, doing something most people wouldn't do. And I could borrow that confidence. Even though it's a completely different circumstance, I borrowed the confidence. I said, well, I know I can do it because I follow my intuition and it always works out when I do that. And I'm going to trust. I'm going to trust in me, and I'm going to trust in my ability to grow this business and to show up and do what I need to do. And I trust that people will like me and that I'll be able to do a good job and that I'll be able to keep going even when it feels hard and uncomfortable. And I had the evidence for that because I did it once before when I moved and I didn't know where I was going and what I was doing. And I built confidence because of that, right? So you could look at, well, where else in my life have I done something that I felt this way, that I felt like I didn't know what was going to happen. I didn't know how I was going to do it, but you trusted yourself. Where have you done that in your life? And the other piece that I borrowed from was when I was 28, I opened a fitness studio and I had no idea how to run a business. I had never ran my own business like that before. I didn't know how to even market and whatsoever. I didn't know how to market at all until I opened my online business, which was 10 years after that. So for 10 years, I ran a personal training business and opened actually 2 fitness studios within that 10 years and had no idea how to market at all. But I trusted. I trusted that it would work out. I trusted that I could attract what I needed to attract using the laws of the universe, and that I could maintain relationships and create referrals. And I trusted those things. And so when I was then 32, 31, looking at, okay, how am I going to do this? Instead of just painting this picture that it's totally new and totally different in Portland, I've never lived there and I don't know anybody. I didn't even allow myself to do that. Instead, I said, well, look, I've done it before. I built a fitness studio and therefore I can do it again. And now that's a pretty similar parallel. And maybe yours isn't that similar, but you can still borrow from it. And it's almost like you need to give yourself more credit. Like give yourself the credit of how far you've come, of how many things you have overcome in your life, of how many big, scary things you've been through and trusted yourself. Because this next level isn't going to be the same. It's not a new level identical to the level before, or it wouldn't be a new level. You desire a new level. You desire something bigger. You desire more. And in the bigger, more new becomes a place you need to flex your confidence in order to get yourself there without sabotaging and feeling like, well, how am I ever going to do it? And just get stuck in all the negative Nancy stuff around it. Got to borrow the confidence. It's kind of like the spiritual plank that I talk about the trust in between the manifestation of what you're desiring and the holding the capacity to receive the desire. But this is like the mindset version. And it really is this spiritual plank through confidence. And the confidence builds every time you do something scary and trust yourself along the way. Confidence builds every time you do something scary and trust yourself along the way. And I'm so curious for you, what is it that you feel nervous about? Or you're like, okay, I'm scared, but how do I feel confident? What's going on for you? I'd love to know. Reach out to me on Instagram at the Jaya Rose. DM me, let me know, take a screenshot of this, put it in your stories. I actually have a challenge for you. How about you take whatever it is you're thinking right now, because I know that you have all your own stuff swirling around in your head around what I'm saying, and you do an Instagram story and talk about what you have fear about and about how you're choosing to trust yourself. Because you will inspire not only yourself, but other people. And it's the most rewarding thing, right? It's to show up and inspire other people. So do that. Tag me in your stories and I will share you into my stories as well. And let's get a train going of how to really build confidence. I mean, ultimately, it's like do the damn thing, right? Do the damn thing anyway. But do it from a place of trust in yourself and borrow the confidence from evidence in your life. Because if you're listening to this, you are old enough that you have had plenty of evidence to reinforce that you can trust yourself. And I want you to know that I dive deeper into this in my new course, Align. It's the hustle-free approach to getting out of your own way, owning your magic, and creating big success for yourself. And I want you to also know that I have an amazing coupon code that is good for this week. What I'm going to do is put the coupon code in the show notes. So scroll down below here, whether you're on the blog or on one of the many places that this podcast streams to. And I'm going to give it to you. But if you want to just go right now, you can go to thejayarose.com/align. And you'll see that the program is $333 is the investment. And I am giving you a 33% discount code. And it's going to make it only $222. Now, this program is worth at least $500, if not more. It is so incredibly valuable. It walks you through the first module is called Set Yourself Free. And I teach you how to align with your inner free spirit and really prioritize your free spirit wants and desires. And then you move forward into Free Your Past. And I walk you through a beautiful forgiveness ritual and letting go of the things that are holding the space, like in the space of what you really want and in the way. And then I take you through my Own Your Magic module. And it's all about how to really decide, well, what is it about me that is unique and special and that I should be putting out more of, because that's why people are attracted to me. It's really powerful. And then I take you through the Own Your Confidence module, which I borrowed some of this content that I just taught you from. And then I take you through the Own Your Desires and receive your desires and move into the energetic frequency of the person who already has those desires and how to really leverage the laws of the universe. And then there's also an embodiment bundle that has a beautiful meditation and also 2 talks about getting through resistance, and 1 leveraging the 3 top emotions that have the highest frequency. Really powerful. And then also some journal prompts. It's such a beautiful course. And I'm telling you, it is a complete steal for $222. I don't know if I will ever offer it for that again. So all you need to do to grab it is go to thejayarose.com/align, and you're going to put in the coupon code. You'll see there. So fun. Your coupon code is my magic. My magic. So don't forget, remember that. I will drop it here in the show notes for you. But if this spoke to you, I know that that course will be such a beautiful support, guidance, and really roadmap to your next level, and doing it with grace and ease and really powerfully, like powerfully stepping into that next level. So let me know if you're going to grab that, and DM me your your receipt, and let me know you joined, and I'll brag about you on social media. So exciting. And then also, if this resonated with you, tag a friend, share it with a friend, and let them know that this would be a good episode for them to listen to, as you probably have other people who are moving through similar resistance and needing the same type of confidence as you do, right? Those people are in your life. And I'm just really happy that you were here today. I'm so excited for you to move forward to that thing, like whatever it is that you're needing confidence for. I'm so proud of you, because that means you're doing something different. You're changing the paradigm. You're doing the damn thing. And it's so good. Be proud of yourself. So thank you for being here. And I hope to see you in Align. Make sure to do it now, because I don't want the coupon code to run out. There's no reason. You should definitely save that. I think a coupon is the funnest thing. Enter my magic into the sales page at thejayarose.com/align. And I'm so excited. And I'll see you next time on the Intuitive Empire podcast.